Have you ever heard of somebody who abducts little boys?
Room below's got some horrible smells.
We don't want to go in there.
What are you doing?
Complimentary room service. There is that.
Hello and welcome to another Dollar Store Drive-In. I'm your host, Laura.
I'm Joel.
And we're the Newly Dads. Thank you very much for tuning in. If this is your first time watching us, we are a half-hour chat show where we discuss a movie that we've watched. If this is not your first time, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. If you are listening to this is also a podcast that you can find on probably Spotify, because that's where I upload it. You can find the actual show itself, because this is a visual show that is shown on several different networks, including YouTube. And you can find that at thenewlydeads.com. On our website, we have all kinds of information from where we're going to be if we are doing an event, to the different show platforms and stuff that we are on. Mr. Newly Dead also does a blog very regularly. Every Sunday it comes out. It is different movie reviews, not necessarily just this show, but he reviews lots of movies. And as you can see, this is just some of his shelf behind me. So he likes to write different reviews and put them on there. I occasionally will do blog posts myself and post them on there. I like to review small businesses and artists, and sometimes they're local, sometimes they're not. So check it out. And if you want to be reviewed, let's say you've got a small art business and you're just dying to have somebody write something up about you, you can email us at contact@thenewlydeads.com. So that being said, again, this is a show where we talk about a movie that we've watched. And we've got some criteria for that show, several different things, actually. So the first thing is it needs to be under $5. It needs to be a horror, thriller, or sci-fi genre type movie. And it needs to be a movie that neither of us have ever seen. The reason we call it Dollar Store Drive-In is because a lot of these movies that we've received or found, we received them from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, Dollar Store sometimes. Sometimes we find them in bins at different locations or thrift stores, or sometimes we even find them locally at different places like antique shops. 608 Vintage, we've gone there. We found things at Hidden Treasures, and we found stuff at Beach Boys Toys. Those are all here local, and sometimes people give us movies. So it's been a hot minute since I've said this, but Anne, our friend Anne, thank you, Anne, has given us a whole bunch of movies. I don't even think we've finished them all yet, have we? Yeah, so we're still working through that whole catalog. So again, we appreciate you. But this week, we decided to watch a movie that, where did you get this one? Do you remember? Not sure. It might be an Anne one. I think it might be an Anne one, actually.
It might very well be, but
it's a shark movie.
And everything is randomized. So
yes.
Movies we watch every week are randomized. So we don't know what we're going to watch any more than you do.
Exactly. This is a 4-film shark collection that we watched. Well, we only watched one of them. We have actually watched the first one on here already. That was called Shark Attack. The second one that we're watching is Shark Attack 2. Yes, that's right. They made a sequel to Shark Attack. If you remember, Shark Attack starred Casper Van Dien, and it also had, why can I never remember his name?
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, yeah, he was in it as well, and we reviewed that many moons ago now.
At least 6 months, if not more.
Yes, but nobody from the original was in this one, I don't think, right? Nope. Yeah, so this is a brand new, I don't know why they're calling it Shark Attack 2, because it didn't really have anything to do with the original people.
It still took place in South Africa.
That's right.
Which is where the first one took place.
Yeah, so they're still having shark problems.
Same sharks. Same strain of sharks.
Same strain of sharks, yep.
That's the
That is the tie-in. I gotcha.
They're genetically mutated sharks.
They are genetically mutated. It looks like there's actually a third one, so I'm sure we'll be reviewing that one sometime. And then one that's like not even related to it. It doesn't look like.
They had to throw a fourth one on there for some reason. Like 3 movies? I don't know if they'll buy it. 4? Done.
All in. Yeah. So, Shark Attack 2. Should we read the synopsis? It's a real short.
Boogaloo.
It's a really short one, though. There's no electric boogaloo.
Oh,
It's short.
they're saving the community center through breakdancing.
Should I read it in slow motion, like a lot of the movies that we watch?
Oh, yeah. We've learned about padding the runtime with slow mo.
No.
But sure,
I'm not
yes,
gonna-
you should.
I'm not going to read it in slow motion.
I can slow it down though in post.
You but don't.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. All right. Shark Attack 2. A great white shark captured for the new tourist attraction, Waterworld, turns out to be one of the genetically mutated sharks that had escaped from captivity, and it is not alone. Told you it was short. Short and sweet.
Like you.
Like my mom.
Oh.
My mom is short.
You're not really all that short.
She's a tiny mom. I love my
Tiny moms.
little tiny mom. You know, I'm 5'7". I don't think that's necessarily short.
I got tiny moms too.
You do.
But yeah, you're not that short. You're above average.
I'm just, yeah. I don't know what average is. Like 5'5".
Like 5'4",
5'6".
5'5", yeah.
Yeah. I'm 5'7". Supposed to say, I didn't know they stacked poop that high. I don't know. My ex-husband used to say that.
That's why he's your
That's why he's my ex-husband. Yes, that's right.
Sorry about that.
Just kidding.
You know who you
That's not why he's my ex-husband, but
That's for another show.
that's for no show.
That's getting weird.
I know what's happening. I'm going off the rails. It's because we have little amount of sleep last night. And, today's a interesting day so
That's
far.
another show too.
Yeah. So I think we should probably show them the trailer, don't you think?
Okay.
I think that's probably a great idea. If you are listening to this, this is why we say that you should watch it, because Joel likes to put a lot of work into the trailers and work into the actual show itself. He does a lot of editing. He adds a lot of visual things. He'll add editor's notes. I'm sure he's probably putting that in there somewhere. Being funny. He's a funny guy. A lot of it you can see on that. So anyways, another thing we like to do is add in a trailer, and sometimes it's a little squeaky little trailer that likes to come through, and sometimes it's something I like to make him try to throw in here. And you know what I'm going to do. I just want a little shark fin. Just do-do-do-do-do-do, and maybe do a little honk at the end. Yeah, beep beep, toot toot, something like that. I think that'd be fun. All right. So we'll be right back. We're going to watch the trailer, and we will discuss it when we return.
You know what kind of media coverage we could get with a great white?
No one's ever been able to keep a great white alive in captivity.
Capturing a great white?
It's a piece of cake.
So how is our star attraction?
But we're not out of the woods yet.
Let's give them something for the evening news.
Close the gate!
Nick!
They're growing at an accelerated level and hunting in packs. There's no telling how dangerous they're going to get.
Get out of the water, shark!
What the fuck happened out there?
The sharks attacked us from every angle. I was lucky to get out of there alive.
Somebody has to end this.
Why you?
If I walk away and somebody else dies, I don't know if I could live with myself.
This is the underwater cave where they've been hanging out.
It's big enough to hold them all. Get them in there and wipe them out.
Underwater demolition explosives. Should be enough to turn those bastards into a bloody shark smoothie.
And we're back. And now Joel's got some notes.
So whenever we watch a movie, I will take some notes. That gives a little bit of a guideline as far as what we're going to talk about, especially if it's been a day or two since we watched the movie, which is the case here. And then at the end of the year, Mrs. Newlywed collects them all, puts them into a flip book. As you know, if you're familiar with the show, you can go to our aforementioned website, and 2023 and 2024 are available for you to peruse, read my notes, see what I thought, get background, behind the scenes information, and all the artwork that I put into the notes, which Mrs. Newlywed this year made a commitment to take notes the entire year, and so far...
Continuing.
Yep. Although hers are analog, so I'm still trying to convince her to try and figure out a way to put them on the site, but as of yet, I don't know that that's going to happen.
We'll see. Actually, I probably could.
We'll find out.
No, I can.
Yeah, but
I can
will
scan
you
'em
is
in.
the question.
Yeah. If I start now, maybe I'll just, because there's not that many. So if I can get them all scanned in and then keep up on it, I think I can do it.
We're like
It's this
11 or 12
It's this
pages
many.
maybe or so, movies.
This many.
One a week since January 1st.
And it will take me like 2 seconds to do that.
She did it. Wow, that was fast. So
right.
at this point, I'm going to show her my notes, and then she'll tell you what's
he
there.
drew a cute little Sharky that says Roar, and a headshot thing that's like a confused little dude with like a stubble on his head.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. I just drew a little guy's head because I just wanted to draw a head, and
I
it just
drew
happened.
Shark
You
Attack.
drew a lot of stuff.
I drew a shark that says, "This movie really bites."
Nah.
A shark fin that says, "I'm coming to get you."
Which happens
I
in the film.
drew a lady that says, "To those lost at sea, cheers."
She did a good job. That actually looks like the lady in the movie.
Yeah, not really. I'm not very good at drawing people. I like drawing illustrative lettering, so if you can see that,
She
it
captures
says
the essence of the people in the film.
Shark Attack. Yeah, so I like drawing letters.
She does.
Yeah, letters are my friends.
They are.
Yeah. So, anyways, what you got?
So, Shark Attack 2 is from the year 2000. It's currently sitting at 3.2 out of 10 on the Internet Movie Database. This is directed by David Worth, and that's exactly what this film is worth. I don't know what that means. So, he is known for directing Kickboxer. I don't remember which one it is. I don't know if it's I think there's a Van Damme movie called Kickboxer. I don't know if it's that one or not. I'll put it up here. Shark Attack 3, Megalodon.
That's on the thing.
And something called Hazard Jack. Not to be confused with the character from the Tropic Thunder film. This is written by two folks. Scott Devine, who wrote Shark Attack 1, 2, and 3. He wrote something called Necessary Evil. Evil, yeah. And Space Travel is Groovy, which I believe is a short film. And then William Hook, Hooke, also was co-writer, who did Shark Attack 1, 2, and 3. Yep, Hook. And the only other thing on his credit was he did a making of for Spy Game, the movie with Robert Redford, I believe it was. So it's like a 12-minute making of featurette that was on. So yeah, we're getting that deep because that's all he did that he wrote for. So this stars Thorsten Kaye, who Laura quickly identified as being a soap opera actor.
Oh, immediately.
Who, by my rough calculations on his Internet Movie Database credits, has done about 3,000 episodes of different soap operas. That's a lot of operating.
I remember him on Another World. Is that what it was?
I didn't write that part down.
I'm pretty sure he was on Another World. I think that's what it was with Kendall.
But there was, between the 3 shows he was on, that's majority of them was all with, there was like 1,800 of those were on
He
one
was
show.
on like,
But
yeah.
You figure it's 1 episode a day, 365 days a year, more or less, for soap operas. It adds up pretty quick.
Yeah. He was on The Bold and the Beautiful too, I think, for like 1,500 episodes
And
or
then
something.
one other show, I don't remember what I'll put it up here.
Yeah.
But he also was in Occupant, something called Animal, not the Muppet, but the movie. Something called But Deliver Us from Evil, And yes, the but is part of the title. And The Silencers, which sounds like a very quiet film. This also stars Nikita Ager, or Ager, A-G-E-R. I don't know if the thing with Ager would be 2 G's, but I don't know. Who was in something that I don't know that you've seen, but it should be on the shelf and it's not yet. It is the very underrated Cooties.
Cooties.
Yeah, which is a zombie film with children where they eat nuggets, chicken nuggets that have been
Funny.
something they're like.
I used to play a game called Cooties. Do you remember Cooties?
No. Oh, like the
It's
board
like-
game with the little bugs that you have to
Yeah.
put together? Yeah, I
Uh-huh.
remember that. I just like the little bugs.
It wasn't really a board game. It was, I mean, I guess it's technically
Technically,
considered.
it's a board
yeah.
game, but
Yeah.
no, Cooties is with Elijah Wood and
Oh, I love Elijah
Rainn
Wood.
Wilson
what?
and a bunch of other. There's like a
All
bunch
right.
of comedic actors in it.
Let's watch that tonight.
It's so fun, but yeah, there's like these rancid chicken nuggets that turn little kids into zombies, and so you imagine teachers
It's
at
like
the school
Toxie,
are
yeah.
fighting zombie children.
Right? Wasn't that something we
The
watched?
Toxic Avenger.
Yeah. Oh no, they were in a chicken restaurant or something like that when that like
Oh, and the new Toxic
Yeah.
Avenger trailer.
Yeah.
They're in the I forget the name of the chicken. But then there's
Yeah.
also
Well, that happened in the
Poltergeist,
first one,
which
too,
was
didn't
they
it?
were at the American Chicken Bunker. What?
didn't that happen to the first one? Where they like he like was
There was a scene in a restaurant, too, but it was more like
yeah.
a McDonald's type.
Oh,
thing.
I thought it was like a chicken place too.
I don't remember for sure, but all 4 of the
Didn't
Toxic
we watch
Avengers are on the
something
shelf.
with like weird nuggets? I feel like we watched a weird movie that had like poison nuggets. It was like one of those like maybe it was the donuts.
There was Killer Donuts.
I think maybe it was the donuts I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
where
Yeah.
there was a bunch of Killer Donuts.
Killer donuts.
A lot of fun if you've not seen it. Check it out. It's streaming in a lot of the like I don't know, like Tubi or one of those places.
He's got like a mind for movies to remember all these things, and I have to write notes on things in order for me to remember. He writes notes so that way he knows like, the rundown, but he'll remember all those kind of things. Like
all I have is the name of
years
the
down the
movie.
road.
I can tell you what year they came out too. She was also in Pirates of Silicon Valley, the HBO biographical film about Steve Jobs and Bill
Weird.
Gates and the third guy.
Muscles McGee.
No, the guy that starts with a W. Anyway, I'll
Willy
write it up
Wonka.
here. But there were 3 guys that started in their garage.
Oh.
It's not Wojciechowicz. That's from Barney Miller, but it's
Yeah.
something like that. Wozniak, Steve Wozniak.
Yeah.
There it is. Those 3 guys. It's a decent little biopic, and Anthony Michael Hall is one of the characters. I think he's Bill Gates, maybe. Anyway.
I could see that.
There were several movies about that, but that was like a made-for-TV thing. And The Devil's Advocate I put on there specifically because of you. Because you like The
I
Devil's
do
Advocate.
like that movie.
Mhm.
He was in that?
No, Nikita Ager was in it. This
Oh.
movie. That
Oh.
girl right there that you drew
Oh.
the picture of.
Oh.
She was probably one of the
demons.
demon concubine chicks.
Mhm. Yep.
And then finally, Sean Higgs, who was in Mama Jack, which I don't know what that is, but it sounds
Fun.
Death Race 2, which not the original Roger Corman Death Race, but the reboot. The original was Jason Statham, but then went off and did this big franchise where they followed Frankenstein, and he was in the second one. Get Duked, which is a movie that is on my list of things to watch.
Like Put Up Your Duke?
You need to look at that. I think you'd be interested in that. And The Scorpion King 2, Rise of a Warrior.
I loved The Mummy. And then when they started going into the Scorpion King and stuff, like not so great.
See, I love the Mummy franchise. Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser is,
Oh yeah.
and he's perfect in those movies. But the Scorpion King, and I like Dwayne Johnson, but boy, howdy, some of the worst CGI in film
Oh,
history,
yeah.
other than Blade.
Really bad.
It's
It's like
then it went off into its
the
own
B movie.
franchise, and just I've never watched any of the Scorpion King movies, and I don't know that I ever want to.
is that what it was called? The B movie?
What?
What was that movie that we watched? It's not the B movie, but it was that really horrible like CGI.
The one that my kid
Yeah.
had?
Yeah. It was something like that. Bees.
Something B.
It's not the B movie.
No, B movie was the one with
Sorry.
Jerry Seinfeld. You know, you like
Yeah.
jazz? Yeah, that one.
Right. Yeah.
No, it was Plan B.
Plan B.
Plan B. Don't even. No, it's not even fun. No, don't.
It's a kids movie, but we
Yeah.
had to buy it because it just looked horrible.
And we watched it with them, and they agreed with us. It was horrible. So anyway, at this point, my wife turns to me and says,
What'd you think?
And now we've already wasted a lot of time on the credits, but we'll get into it.
That's what happens when I talk.
That's all right. So it is a direct sequel. Like anybody really wanted a sequel, but it happened. The first thing we noticed, because it happens right away and it never stops for the entire film, apparently sharks sound like lions
Underwater.
when they are, and even when they come up above water, when they would open their mouths, it'd go,
Like-
it's my lion
Like a
impression.
lion.
It literally was a lion sound effect.
Roar.
And it was like, since when do
Roar.
sharks growl and
Roar.
roar? But
Yeah,
it
that's what I
happens.
wrote down.
Um,
Growling sharks.
it's very similar to the first film in the tone and the pacing and the storyline. Everything is like, there's a scientist, there's sharks, there's, a couple that gets together, there's the extra guy there's the bad guy that's kind of trying to, there's a whole, it's very, very similar. And I wrote something that I forgot that you mentioned in your notes, where I said, you bring a shark gun in here? Because the girl, at the beginning of the movie, her and her sister are diving, and her sister gets killed by this great white. She stabs the great white in the eye. That's how they know that it's the same great white when they go to capture it. Because she's like, that's the shark that killed my sister. And they're like, how would you know? They're like, it's missing an eye. And they're like, lots of sharks are missing eyes. But so she's got like a shotgun and she's trying to shoot it. And they're like, you bring a shark gun in here? And I'm like, what's a shark gun? Is it shaped like a shark? Is it only for shooting sharks? Does it have like shark pellets or something that only can pierce shark skin?
Is it guns that sharks use?
Is it a gun made of sharks?
Oh.
Does it shoot like shark teeth? Because they've got 300 teeth with 7 rows. Is it shooting their teeth at them?
Or is it like a gun that a shark uses?
Oh, right. Like in the shark versus giant octopus, the giant shark versus mega octopus. Mega shark versus giant octopus.
Or they're like, pew pew.
Where I made them shooting at each other. Then there's a scene where they capture the shark, they bring it back to like a SeaWorld kind of thing, and they have it on display because they're like, the kids will want to see,
Waterworld
nature's
or
best
something.
predator or
I think
whatever.
It's called Waterworld.
Yeah.
Literally.
Not the Kevin Costner
Waterworld
movie.
Yep.
But so the guy's like, feed the shark. And they're like, that's not a good idea. They told us to wait till after the people were gone. And he's like, feed it now, the bad guy, who's essentially the mayor of Amityville Island, if you're familiar with Jaws. They basically took Jaws and rewrote it. But so the guy takes the meat that's on a hook and a rope, which why you need the rope and the hook, just throw the meat in the water. But he throws it in, the shark grabs it, and then the rope wraps around his leg, pulls him in the water.
And then he
Darwin.
And then he gets chomped in half.
And then
In front of a bunch of kids.
In front of the kids. Now, the thing that was the funniest thing in this, other than the roaring sharks, is that anytime there was a shark that came above water and was like, rawr, it was this plastic looking shark. There was no attempt to make it look like a shark, other than the one that they caught and killed. Because there's a guy that's in that is supposed to be somewhere between like the Crocodile Hunter and because the Crocodile Hunter never killed the animals, but something along those lines. Or Crocodile Dundee and the Crocodile Hunter, like he's somewhere in between there, but he murders the animals.
Yeah.
And he kills another shark, and it's obviously not that shark. But that one was a real shark, I think, that they had gotten somewhere. Didn't look anything like it. But all the other sharks were giant plastic. Like if you were to go dunk, 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 that's the noise it would make on it.
I also wrote down there was a horrible song.
The music in it was bad all the way around.
I wrote horrible song in big letters.
Huh.
And mutant baby sharks.
I mean, I think when they were having on their love date, I think there was some bad,
Sharky.
like, there was like some bad pseudo, like easy listening jazz, like, but with lyrics, like it wants to be like 90s R&B, but like bad 90s R&B, not good.
Right.
The good ones. I think that's the song you were talking about. There was also a water spit take at some point where somebody was drinking water and they went, and it was like really blatantly obvious. And it was like, why was that even there? It just felt really
I think it
out
was
of place.
him.
Which guy?
The soap opera guy.
Oh, it probably was.
I know it was. I remember because like you rewound it and you made me watch it over again.
I did because I thought it was so funny. Basically, if you want to know what this movie is, if the trailer didn't give that away, it basically is an asylum shark film that removes all the entertainment value and then throws some Skinamax late night elements into it, and then a little bit of Jaws.
Yeah.
The one thing this did have in common that there was a Sharktopsy.
That's why I said sad sharky. Mm-hmm.
Because in the first one there was lots of shark autopsies, so we just started calling them Sharktopsies. And in this one there was still another one.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that necessary?
It's not.
Oh, and then there's what is it? The main guy's wearing denim throughout the entire film.
Oh yeah.
He's like jumping in the water wearing denim, which if you've ever been in the water in your jeans, it's heavy.
Yeah. Why would you want and chafing?
It chafes. Like if you've been to a water park or to like a theme park and you go through a water ride at the theme park and then you're walking around the rest of the day in 80-degree heat.
Wasn't he like on a jet ski or something like that?
He was on a jet ski
in a full denim outfit.
Yep. He had denim shirt on, denim pants, denim shoes, denim socks. He had a denim
underwear.
hat on, denim
I
underwear.
think we were joking about that, weren't we?
Yep, he was wearing like denim, like
Gloves.
evening gloves that were up to his. He had like denim sunglasses on.
He had like a denim
face mask.
Face mask.
Yeah,
Denim scarf.
And he had a denim duster on,
And
and
a
it was
denim
just
jacket.
like he just sank right to the bottom. It was bad. But no, he did wear a complete denim outfit. It was weird.
Yeah, it's just a shirt and pants.
Which, if you don't know, denim is the natural enemy to sharks, and therefore he was just making himself a target. I mean, he might as well have been, have a red cape in front of
like
a ball.
Yeah.
Mhm. And then the thing that I want to point out here, and I'm sorry I'm monopolizing this conversation, but the movie didn't make sense because the two characters, that is the sister and that her sister died, and the main soap opera guy fall in love with each other. So they're trying to stop the shark. And then they're like, okay, we got to come up with a plan. And then instead of doing anything immediately, they go and they have dinner. Then they go walk on the beach. They talk about their lives. They go fight the shark again, and they leave. And then they go and they make love. And then they go walk on the beach. And then they
do a spit take.
They do a spit take. And then they go fight the shark again. And then they come back and they make like 5 minutes on a plan. And then the rest of the night so like this thing they should have been just focusing on for like 24 hours. They make it stretch out over like a week as more people are being killed left and right. I know they're trying to pad the runtime, but come on.
Yeah, it was bad.
Before we get to our final thoughts, what else do you have?
There is one thing that happened, and that was that I fell asleep.
Oh, right.
Hard. Yeah. It was not a great movie. So I took some notes and stuff, but I also wrote that I fell asleep down.
Did you take notes while you were sleeping?
Probably, because like this one, I can't even read what I wrote.
Oh, wow. It did.
Yeah.
You kind of were doing like that trailing off thing.
I do that a lot.
Yikes.
Yeah. So no, I've got a final thought though.
Which incidentally, we're not recommending this movie, number one, and the ending is, let's just say that, well, I mean, things happen that you are like, oh, like I didn't see that coming, and then they set it up for a sequel, basically.
Yeah.
So we'll leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I've got final thoughts if you've got final thoughts.
Do you want me to go first? You want to go first?
Usually I go first. Why don't you go first?
Oh. So my final thoughts are, I've never heard so many shark growls in my life.
True. And you probably never will again unless you rewatch this.
Yep.
My final thought is, they did it. They made a shark movie dull and uninteresting.
Oh, sad.
Which Shark Attack, the first one, was just as dull and uninteresting. So I'm kind of not got a lot of hope for part 3 other than it's called Megalodon. So, I mean, the Meg 1 and 2 was dull and uninteresting. So maybe they'll have accomplished the feat and made it fun.
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
And then, so what'd you give it for a rating?
I don't know why I did this, but I'm going to stick by it. I think the only reason I did is because it provided a lot of entertainment for us to make fun of it, because it was so incredibly just like, that was the only way we could both stay awake.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 1 out of 5, and I probably should have gone lower, but
I gave it a negative 56.
Holy baloney. Why 56?
Yeah, out of, 5. I just wanted to go random.
Oh.
And it's out of shark fins.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is out of 5. So, yeah. So 1 and negative 56. I just got to say that because I got to put it up here on the screen. So
yep.
There you go. Fun times at the OK Corral.
All right. If they don't want to watch this movie, what do you recommend?
I'm hoping I didn't already put this down here, but it felt to me, and I know every time we watch a shark movie, I'm probably going to have the same conversation because there's only so many movies that are good about killer fish. But I went with Piranha 3D, the 2010 Alexander Aja remake of the original. Is it Joe Dante? No, who did the original film? I don't remember now.
You're looking at me and I don't know.
I think it was Joe Dante. But anyway, it is essentially the same sort of a plot. There's genetically mutated like piranhas that escape, and they're in like a water park and they're killing people, and they're like, we need to close the park, and I don't know. And that one, there's a lot more like fallacies that are chewed off and floating around. I don't know. That's not the right way to say that, but you know what I mean. I don't want to get too vulgar here. It's
Yeah.
a kid show.
Mhm. No.
But yeah, there's things that are a bit off, and pretty big names in that movie. And Alexander Aja is one of my favorite horror directors of that period. And he's still making movies, but anyway. So Piranha 3D. Can't blow it up. Sorry,
I can't blow it up. Yep, we've got 2 more movies on here.
And
So
look
I'm
at the
just
cover. Where is that? That didn't happen yet.
No, that looks like a megalodon.
That could be the Megalodon, maybe. And then the last one is what? Just called Shark Zone or something like
Shark
that?
Zone, yeah.
Get in the zone. Sharkle Zone.
All right, what are we watching next week?
Next week. This is from 2005. It is a made-for-TV movie.
Oh. Larva. Ugh. I don't know if you can see that. But
I put
that
the
looks
thing up
gross.
right
Yeah.
here so you'll see it.
A terror that gets under your skin.
I don't want anything under my
Full
skin.
of worms. That's gross. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be bad.
Although there's some names in it. Don't give them away, but there are some names.
Okay.
You can look at them if you want. But
So I always like to read if there's like, somebody's like little blurb,
'cause
about
we don't
it.
believe them most of the time.
Yeah. A killer creature film that delivers the goods, says Gregory Conley of 411mania.com.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah,
What?
don't give away who's in
yeah.
it.
No.
Yeah,
It takes place in Missouri.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Host, Missouri. Is that a place?
Not that I'm aware of.
He's from Missouri.
But there's a lot. Missouri is a pretty big,
Do they do
tract
ranching
of
down there?
land. In Missouri?
Mhm.
Oh, there's huge, vast, like farmland.
Oh, like
in
cows.
Missouri,
I guess yeah, that would be
Missouri
ranching.
and Kansas is just.
I always
a lot of
think
farmland.
ranches are like in the West,
Right.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of farmland, so there's a lot of cattle and stuff down there. Mostly, Kansas is wheat, and Missouri is kind of adjacent.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Okay.
It is the farm. They do have a lot of dairy and stuff.
So it says Host, Missouri is a quiet ranching community where everyone knows everyone and almost everyone earns their living from Host tender meats. When a new veterinarian decides to call this town home, he finds himself fighting a cattle infestation that could become a catastrophic human epidemic. Mutating insect larvae are developing a taste for more than dead cattle, and they have the potential for explosive reproduction. What begins as a threat to the local livestock business soon becomes a chilling war for humanity when the rapidly evolving creatures begin to set their claws on the local townsfolk and then beyond.
Now, when you said there's a cow infestation, I imagined like a bunch of cows that are taking over the town.
That's what it says.
And if you've ever seen, there's a movie, I don't know if it's actually, there is a movie called Mad Cow that has Billy Zane in it. That's a lot of fun. If you've not seen it, check it out. It's a zombie type movie. There's another movie about something similar to that I'll have to put into my brain as a possible recommendation for next week. It's a foreign film, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was pretty gross. I'll look it up. Anyway, Host, Missouri. I don't think so. I'm guessing it must be made up since it's the host. I don't think any town would be like, we want you to say our meat packing plant is full of larvae.
Now I know who's in it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after we're off
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
So
Awesome. All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. We'll see.
we always say that, then we're like, man, that was not
was,
what we're looking forward to.
And then we'll watch some movie that we're like, this is going to be like, horribly, horrible. And then we like it.
Yeah, week before that happened.
Yeah. Like Curse of the Werewolf.
Curse of the Wolf, we thought was going to be complete and utter garbage, and we're still singing the music from it.
It
and
is
talking about
complete and utter garbage.
it.
but
Recommend it to other people.
It's
even.
funny though. All right. Well, that's it again for another episode of Dollar Store Drive-In. Thank you very much for joining us. And until next week.
Keep it cheap and creepy, and don't make your sharks roar.
No. Bye.
Doesn't mean you should go chasing the dead.
It may be your robot, but it's my house.
I want to get a close look at these sharks.
Sounds dangerous.
Well, I'll be careful.
In today's show, we'll be taking a close look at this mysterious creature.
Menacing and terrifying. The shark has been menacing and terrifying for over a decade. Sharks can only be found in 2 places on Earth, the northern and southern hemispheres. This shark is called a hammerhead because his head looks like a hammer. These sharks are attacking Nicole Richie. Yes, the shark is a... What the... Look, man, look at that thing's teeth.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, ho, 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 ho.